Hello, my friends. Welcome to Overworked to Optimized. I'm Melissa and I am your host today. And actually, this is my second time recording this today because I didn't hit record on my first call, realized it halfway in the presentation, and just kept rolling with it. But the good news is that with the replay, you get the second version, which it's going to be better than the first. So let's get started. We are going to start with first of all, a meditation. And this will be a short meditation, but it's always important that when you're ready to consume information, to take in information, that we want to really slow down the body and we want to slow down the mind so that you can fully arrive right here. Okay, I'm going to turn this down just a bit. As you find yourself either sitting, maybe in your chair, maybe on the drive home, maybe you're standing in your kitchen, I want you just to feel your feet on the floor. Feel the ground beneath your toes, beneath your heels. Maybe you feel the bottom of your shoes. Maybe you feel the softness of your sock. And maybe it's your skin right on the floor beneath you. Just feel the sensation of your feet being held and being supported. And there's nothing that you need to do differently. And then bring your awareness to your seat area. If you're sitting, feel the chair beneath you. Feel the soft cushion beneath you. Feel something hard beneath you. Either way, you're being supported and you don't have to do anything differently. Maybe you're standing and instead of feeling the support underneath your glutes, you feel the clothing on your waist, beneath your legs, over your legs. And then maybe we bring our awareness to our shoulders and we bring our shoulders all the way up to our ears so we can let them drop down. And we create space between the ears and between the shoulders. We move our neck back and forth. Yes or no, left to right. And we just let that movement create a little bit more space inside of our body. And then we bring our awareness to the very tip top of our head, part of our head where it always exists. It's always there. Just don't always think about it. We don't always put intention to the very top of our head. Maybe we envision or visualize a light pulling from the top of our head all the way down through the bottoms of our feet. And this beam of light stretches all the way through you and it tethers you together. It holds you as one. It's your safe place to be, connected to everything above you and grounded to everything below you. And take a nice big belly breath in. Allow that belly to really expand and take up space with a nice long exhale on the other side. And we're going to do that one more time. A nice big belly breath in, expand as far as you can. Let that belly really take up space. And then follow it up with a nice long exhale through the mouth. Good. And now you can wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can start to arrive here and receive the information that I'm about to give to you. So let me share my screen. Okay. And if you do not have your journal with you, you can write on any piece of paper as I go through the information today. Otherwise, if you did print your journal, have that with you so we can use it. And if you're looking for your journal, head to the email that I sent you at 9 o'clock this morning, Central Standard Time, and that will have also the link for the journal as well. So your growth is not limited by effort or strategy. It's actually limited by capacity. And we're going to be talking mostly about capacity today. Today is day number 1 of Overworked to Optimized, and we're going to be talking more closely with the nervous system. We're going to be talking about the capacity that allows our body, or the nervous system that allows our body to have capacity, to have, to hold, to create. What I want you to do first is to reflect on maybe how did you feel at the beginning when we started, when you came into this replay? Did you feel a little scattered? Did you feel less focused? Did you feel like, oh, I just got to listen to this and, trying to find it or whatever? And then asking yourself, how did I feel after that meditation? This is your nervous system changing capacity in real time. When you come in and you're less focused, you're reactive, rushed, and you're feeling dysregulated, you're not feeling like yourself, you're feeling very pushed or pulled, that is lowering your capacity. But when we go in and we actually show our body safety, all we did was orientate our body to the environment that it was in. We told your body it was safe. We explained to our body where we were. We explained what to focus on, and that just allowed that nervous system to release some of that tension and to say things are good here. And that allows you to feel very comfortable and safe in your body. And that's how we increase your capacity. So you're a beautifully smart, well put together woman. I know this. And you're not really here because you need to consume more information. You're here because information has gotten you this far, whether it's in your health or in your business. But you probably know what you should be doing to take really good care of yourself. You probably know what you should be doing to be growing your business. And maybe you are doing those things. And also, maybe you're not doing those things because capacity is really low inside of your body. Or maybe you're doing them and they're just not working, or they're not working as well as they used to. This workshop is not for women who need more discipline, who need to be told to do more, have better habits, find a right strategy, or outsource your needs. This is really for the woman who already knows what works, but can't access it consistently because her body is lowering in capacity. You maybe don't feel like yourself. You might feel spread thin. There's more work than there is time. Your digestion has slowed down. Your mind is always overthinking. You don't sleep well. You want to eat better, but that just feels like another thing to do at this point. And your business, you want it to grow, you want more profit, you'd also love more time, but everything you do keeps taking more from you rather than giving from a place of abundance or overflow. You're probably tired, overwhelmed, and you're honestly over feeling like this. And I want you to know that your body is the gatekeeper to your consistency, clarity, and your income. So excuse me if I cough during this. I am getting over what I believe was influenza over the holidays. So we still just have this lingering cough that is hanging out and also making me sound like my voice is 3 octaves lower. So a little bit about me. Hey, I'm Melissa. If you haven't met me before or seen me before, I'm actually a registered nurse and I've turned into a holistic health coach. And I want you to know that I have been where you are. And as a nurse, I understand physiology. I'm also certified in functional nutrition and nervous system science. I can read your labs. I know exactly how your body works. But more importantly, I am an entrepreneur and I have built a multi-six-figure business. And I know what it's like to be a woman in midlife while running a business. I know what it's like to launch, to sell, to lead a team, to juggle client delivery with business growth while managing also a home and a family. I'm not teaching you from just textbook. I'm teaching you from the trenches. I've been the woman who has crushed it while her body was slowly falling apart. And I've learned that you can't business strategy your way out of a capacity problem. You have to build the body up, and that's what makes this workshop different. I'm combining nervous system science, hormonal balance, and nutrition with the reality of running a business, with client crises, launches, and stresses, and money and decision fatigue. I'm going to help you bridge the mindset work and the somatic practices, which somatic just means body, and the spiritual foundation, because no part of you gets left behind in my world. What I want you to know is that information consuming from today, because today is going to be a little more information heavy, information does not change capacity. Safety changes capacity inside of your body. The mind-body connection is what's missing in our world, and especially female entrepreneurs. And this is the key to our vitality, to our energy, and more money as women in the business industry. We've been operating in a man's world with a female body, and our bodies are confused, tired, and overspent. And when we're here to embody safety in your body, you can grow, you can live, and you can create ease. Because business as a woman can feel really damn good. And I see far too often in my colleagues and business coaching groups I'm in, different areas, that business can also be a place where your body slowly starts to die off because you're letting your business take over your body. And it's time to step into our power as women and as leaders and as money generators in this world. But first, we have to show our body that we are safe here to produce. We are safe here to be creative. We're safe here to be more and be a conduit for more energy and more money. Our female bodies are full of wisdom. We are carrying centuries of wisdom from our female ancestors, and we're carrying that in our body. We have so much wisdom to access in here, but many times we can't access it because we have disconnected our body from our mind. And we want to reconnect them so we can really feel our body, understand the language of our body, understand what it's asking of us, what it needs from us. And also when it wants to give us more information outside of just, I'm hungry, I need to sleep, I need a walk, I need some water, also be able to access so much intuitive information and messaging that we have access to inside of this body. But we can't access it if we shut the body off and we stop listening. So how did we get here? Your capacity didn't just disappear overnight. It has slowly adapted to keeping you safe. It's adapted to many of the habits that we have in our day in and day out as women, and especially women entrepreneurs. Overworking, people pleasing, social media all the time, blue light exposure, not eating meals, not getting up to go work out, not exposing ourselves to the sunlight, working against our hormones instead of working with them. This is the day in and day out of the average American in our world today. And it is pretty hard to create capacity when that's what we're working with. And also, we have been taught, like ever since we were little girls, that we should be hardworking, we should be seen, not heard, we should be easygoing, we should be people pleasers, make everyone happy. And then as entrepreneurs, it looks like working at all hours, saying yes to everything out there. That often looks like saying no to you. It looks like taking care of your home and your family and your business. There's no checking out, especially in this digital age when we're on all the time. There's no one checking to see if you took lunch today. There's no one asking you if you're okay. There's no one asking you if you need a cry, if you need a break, if you need a nap, if you need a walk. This is all on you and you're not doing it. That is leading you to believe that your needs don't matter and adapting to everyone else's needs. And you're telling yourself that when you do this, you are creating this sense of safety, that you are creating a version of safety. It's what your mind believes. Take care of everyone else. Do all of these things. Say yes to everything. Take care of yourself later, and that will create safe circumstances. That does not create safe circumstances. That creates false safety in the moment, but not true embodied safety in your body for the future, for the long term. And if you take anything away from today or from these 3 days, it doesn't matter if you want to have more money. It doesn't matter if you want more time, more ease, more joy, more presence, balanced hormones, weight loss. Your body just wants to feel safe. And it will do everything it can to do this, which means many times what you want is not your body's concern or on its radar, simply because it just doesn't feel safe. And when you push, you ignore, you deny, your body goes into safety mode. And this looks like lowering capacity, both physically and energetically and mentally, and also with money, which we're going to get into a little bit more here shortly. So I want you to look at this as in 3 different states. So we have the connected and safe safe place right here. This is where we want to be consistently. This is where we have energy. We have clear thoughts. We have comfortable digestion. We have sleeping and waking well. We have decision making, even in uncertainty, because many times circumstances are not going to change, but we want you to be able to make decisions still in uncertain circumstances, and you easily adapt, right? So when you're in this state, things feel pretty good. And we love being in this state. We do want to spend more time in this state. Now, I'm going to go into the protection and activated states as well, but I want you to remember that one state is not good and one state is not bad. Because otherwise, when we do that, when we normally will go into activation or we'll go into protection, we start to say, I'm bad. I need to get out of here right away. And we just want to know that this is normal for the nervous system to ebb and flow back and forth. The goal is to notice when you're not in your connected, safe state and to be able to shift quicker into that state. So let's go into the protection state. What this looks like is feeling tired, unmotivated, overwhelmed, slow digestion, avoiding, procrastinating, poor appetite, brain fog, thinking, what's the point? Like apathy. And you can think about this as more of, when we're thinking about the nervous system, more of that freeze or fawn response. So going inward, doing less, saving a lot of energy. Just think like low capacity, very tight, very constricted, very inside. And then we have the activated state, and this looks rather chaotic. So it looks like putting out fires. You might feel very wired in your body, but also weirdly tired. Overthinking, increased cravings, specifically for sugar, sometimes salt. Poor sleep, bloating when you eat, reactive, jumping from one thing to the next. It looks like you're very busy, but you're not actually doing anything meaningful. And then in this state is going to be more of that fight or flight state, right? So you're doing a lot, but not anything is actually moving. Not anything is making traction for you. So again, noticing when you're in an activated state and when you're in a protected state, and then knowing I have these tools, which I'm going to be teaching you a few tools this week, or I know how to re-regulate myself and I can bring myself back into the connected, safe place. Also know that as we go through these 3 days and you start to really understand what this means in your body, you start to embody what nervous system regulation is, connection and safe, and you really start to feel it, you will start to be able to do this without tools necessarily. Tools can be helpful to help shift quicker, but you just understanding what it feels like is going to be one of the number one things that you find to be very helpful. One thing I encourage you to do from protection, connected and safe and activated is think about the things that you do when you're in these states. So when you're in a protection state, so think about small, contained, trying to feel very safe, right? You're probably not posting on social media. You're probably accepting lower pricing than what you need to. You're probably have a poor appetite. You're not eating in the morning. You're probably eating most of the calories later on in the day. It's probably hard for you to get any physical activity in because you just feel very slow and very sluggish. Maybe hard to focus as well, and hard to find creativity, hard to find your words, hard to find clients, anything like that. When you're in your connected and safe state, what are you doing? You're making clear decisions that make sense for the present, but also for the future. You are eating consistently throughout the day, well-balanced meals. You're sleeping well. You're moving your body with ease. You reach conflict and you're able to handle it without spiraling. And then you wake up with energy and you have consistent energy throughout the day without crashing and burning. And then activated looks like doing a lot, but not really doing anything, right? So you're really reactive. You might find yourself frustrated, mad, angry quite a bit, especially with your loved ones, being reactive with them. Poor sleep, so you might feel exhausted in the evenings and you fall asleep easy, but then you wake up and your mind is stewing. Bloating after you eat, and overthinking, right? Not being able to make decisions. And then just putting out fires and being really reactive all day long. So this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, and you're not ever able to approach anything from a well-grounded place in your body. When the body is focused on survival, improvement is not the priority, right? Does not care. Your body is just trying to survive and find safety. And so until you understand why the nervous system is doing something, it's really easy to blame yourself that you're a problem, right? You've probably said to yourself, why can't I just follow through? Why do I know what to do, but I just don't do it? Why do I keep sabotaging myself? Your body hears, I am such a problem. And that will bring it into more dysregulation and it will increase the threat perception on your body. It's hard to get out of dysregulation when you're talking down to yourself, when you're trying to force change out of the fear or anger or frustration. So instead of blaming yourself, let's say that you're in a protection state and you're not doing the things. You find yourself numbing out on your phone. You find yourself not eating breakfast, but you're eating quite a bit later on in the day and you are overeating and you're just feeling rather frustrated, slow, sluggish, and you're not doing the things that you want to do. Instead of saying, I'm procrastinating because I lack any discipline, I want you to bring your nervous system into it and say, how is my nervous system actually protecting me right now? It's not because I don't want to. It's not because I'm not disciplined or I don't have willpower. It's because my nervous system is protecting me. I'm procrastinating because my nervous system is overloaded and it's trying to reduce pressure. Right? So if your nervous system is perceiving that there's a lot going on out here, even though you're in that protected state, it's still perceiving that there's not safety here. And so in order to conserve energy, it's going to prolong you from actually doing the thing that you want to do. Because in the prolonging, it's perceiving I'm conserving energy. I don't have to use my energy for that. I don't have to waste my energy because there's not enough energy sources here. I'm going to stay safe and small. So it's not procrastinating because you have a personality problem. It's procrastinating because of your nervous system. And we can work with that. So we want to show our mind why you are doing what you're doing so you can find a way to shift out of that instead of self-blame, which just perpetuates the dysregulation. Your body is the gatekeeper of everything you desire. So what are the solutions to re-regulating and being safe in your body? The first is to learn to hear and listen to the body. Tomorrow, we're going to learn more about nutrition and how to increase basically the language of the body, being able to hear the body and understand the body, also bringing in hormones, which is communication within the body as well. But when your nervous system is regulated, you can hear your body so much easier. Versus when you're in dysregulation, it's hard to hear that body because all you hear it do is scream at you. Learning the language of the body, how you can interpret feelings into actual language so you can solve for them. And then building safety through consistent aligned action. And all of this is simple and doable when we create safety in the body. So when your body feels safe, capacity expands. So when I use the words nervous system, safety, and capacity a lot, what do they all mean? So capacity is your body's ability to safely hold what you're experiencing without going into the default, protection, or activation states. Right? So let's say something big is happening, lots of stress, lots of things, you're worried, you're anxious, and your capacity, we want your capacity to be able to hold that state without shifting and spiraling. And then months later, you come out of it and you're like, oh, yeah, I have really let things go. I'm not eating consistently. I'm not moving my body consistently. I'm not taking care of myself and I feel it. Remember, it's not what you want, right? So many times what we want as business owners is more business and more money. Our body wants safety. So if our body the capacity is lower because it perceives a lot of stress, and then we go into protection and activation, we're perpetuating that nervous system cycle all over again. And even when we're like, I want this, I need this to work, and we're trying to create, especially income, we have created a physical circumstance that doesn't allow us to create more money. It's not about how much your nervous system can stay present. It is about how much your nervous system can stay present without abandoning yourself. So, like I said before, circumstances are still going to happen in the world. People are still going to be people. Money is still going to be money. It's going to come and go. Business is going to come and go. Taxes are going to have to be paid. Your children are going to need XYZ. Somebody's going to get sick. But we can do that because we have capacity and our world and our business doesn't seemingly come crumbling down or feel like it. And you don't go into your default patterns, which perpetuate that nervous system cycle. Overworking, people pleasing, avoiding yourself, overthinking, skipping meals, numbing out. Because low capacity looks like an email being very overwhelming. It looks like money coming in can feel scary because you don't know how to hold money. You end up paying it out right away. You don't know how to hold it. Or it's scarce. It never feels like there's enough, even when there is money there. Looking at your money, you avoid that. Numbers with shame, decisions feeling heavy, visibility feels scary or like a duty. Not enough time, just fixing things all day long. But high capacity on the other side of it looks like pausing, having time expansive, right? Not having to rush from one thing to the other because you believe you always have enough time. Even in your home with your children and your family and in your business. You receive, you hold, and you have money, and you do so consciously. You make clear thoughts, easily make decisions, and you can listen and speak the language of your body and give your body what it needs when it asks for it. And also feeling and finding joy easily and really being present in your moments. Your nervous system is the container that holds your life, your money, your joy, your relationships, your ease, and your love. If your container is small or repelling, what you want has nowhere to go. So when you are in the protection state of your nervous system, right? So it's slow, it's apathy, you're not doing the things, digestion is slow, appetite is weird. You are constricting energy in your body. You're conserving, you're going inward. So think small. When you want more money, more revenue, and more business, and you're sending the signal that there's no room here, where do you think that's going to go? Not to you. And when you are reactive, right, doing all the things, but nothing really makes sense, overthinking, rather chaotic in your actions, reactive, all the things during the day, you are repelling money. You're pushing it away because you're focusing on all the wrong things, nothing that actually makes sense for you. And so you are pushing, you are repelling what you want away, and especially money, because money is energy and money is trying to find a place to go. You are energy, money is energy, and it wants to find a safe place. And when you're in activation, you are pushing it away. In the past, you have tried to increase your capacity by outsourcing. You probably did things like tell me what to do and I'll do it, right? Join a business coaching group or find a business coach. Adopt this sort of business strategy. Maybe it was with your health. And so you bought some supplements or you paid for a program and you didn't follow through. Tell me what to do and I'll do it, or I'll say I'll do it, right? Take this supplement, do this business strategy. That gives us a false sense of more capacity in the beginning. It makes us feel like it's going to do something for us, but it's really a band-aid because what actually works is your own regulation. What actually works is tapping into your own body. So I want you to take a moment to think about the past in the last maybe week, month, year. When did something work really well? Like money came in and it was money that felt really easy and really good. You had a launch that brought in something close to your goals or more than your goals, whatever it was, something in the past, and it worked really well. And I want you to actually feel in your body. You can close your eyes. It worked really well. How did that feel in your body? Where do you feel it? You might feel it in your hips. You might feel it in your sacral, in your back. You might feel it in your belly, in your chest. You might feel it in your throat. It might feel light in your head. But most likely, when we're talking about the past, when something worked really well, it feels expansive. It feels like you're in control. It feels like you know what you're doing. It feels like you have trust. It feels like ease. And it wasn't because you clicked a button on the computer. It was because you were regulated in your nervous system, which increased your capacity to receive and create. It felt like synchronicity. It felt like magic. It almost felt like, I don't know how I did it. And I don't know, or I don't know how I did it. It just happened. But it simply happened because you held the space within your body. And that is really hard for business coaches to hear because you can't repeat that on paper, right? But you can repeat that endlessly inside of your body. You can teach yourself how to do that over and over and over again. And that's actually limitless. And I want you to think about capacity as like your cup. And your cup capacity, or sorry, think about capacity like a cup. And your current desires, money, energy, business, growth, time, joy, presence, is water inside of this cup. If your cup has holes or it's small, everything's going to spill out or come out the bottom of the holes. Capacity work doesn't remove the water. The water is still there. It's the capacity work works on the cup. We build a bigger cup and we build a stronger cup without holes. So now you can hold more. Now there's more water, aka money, energy, business, growth, time, joy, and presence. Money doesn't enter the bank. Money enters your nervous system. Like I said before, money is energy and you are energy. And energy always wants a safe place to go. It wants to be received. When your nervous system is in the protection state, so think about that small state, there's nowhere for money to land. There is no room. You're avoiding, you're apathy, you're tired, you're not interested, you're running slow, right? There's also nowhere for money to go. So not only do you not physically have the energy to generate and keep money, but you also are not a magnet to bring the money in. And when your nervous system is in activation, it's repelling. It's sending the message, it's not safe here. When you're in this state, your actions are chaotic. You're working for the sake of working. You may feel confused and you might have more of those heightened emotions like anger or fear. And when you're taking actions out of anger or fear, they're usually not aligned actions. They're not actions that feel really good in your body. They're actions that are trying to escape the state that you're in. And that will beget more of that dysregulation in the future. And it also repels money. It says money's not safe here. Don't come here. Don't arrive here. It's not good here. Your nervous system is the energetic frequency for which you become a match to receive money, being paid, holding and having more money, and physical energy. I want you to see them on the same playing field. You having physical energy is very important to bringing in money and to holding and keeping money. But regulation doesn't come from happy thoughts, abundance mantras, or more strategy. Although I will say strategy does work when your nervous system is aligned, and then it can work beautifully. But we don't want to put strategy on top of a dysregulated nervous system because then it goes nowhere. Regulation comes from embodiment. It's a being of you. It's you in your body. It's a safe body, a safe mind, and a safe environment. And you create all of these through listening, hearing, and responding to the body regulating and dysregulating. So what I want you to do is you can head to your journal now, and there is a spot. I'm actually going to pull up mine so where we can actually see what our low capacity is costing us. So what do you avoid or delay or overact around when you are in these states, when you're in activation or when you're in protection? You can choose any for the simplicity of the exercise so you can understand and you can show your mind this. You can also do it with all of them after this call. But let's, for the sake of this call, while I'm teaching just on a recording here, since I'm re-recording it, let's talk about a protection state, and what you're doing is not posting on social media or you're not marketing because your capacity is low. You're overspent. You don't perceive enough time. You don't perceive enough energy. You don't perceive enough creativity to post consistently. And what does this cost you? Not posting on social media costs you in either time, consistency, clarity, confidence, or opportunity. So for me, if I'm not posting consistently on social media, it's decreasing my confidence on showing up on social media because it's a practice skill over and over and over again. It's also costing me opportunity because every time somebody scrolls, they're seeing somebody else's face. They're seeing other people's content and intellectual property, and they're consuming other people's information and they're not consuming mine. And that could be a missed opportunity. Now, there's a part of this too that there's enough for all of us to go around. However, there are missed opportunities if people are not seeing my face and not seeing my content on social media. So that's what it's costing me. And when I'm dysregulated, when it comes to money, what could it actually cost me? Now, I don't have the numbers on the top of my head on what my conversions are from social media to a paid client, but let's say it was 1%, because I would guess that that would probably be a rather average number. So if you convert 1% of your social media audience every, say, 1 month, I'm just throwing numbers out there, right? What does that actually cost you? You can put it in numerical data, and our mind loves numbers and data to make it make sense. Because then when you are in that protected state, you understand that you really like there is an associated cost with this, and you're more likely to move into a protected state versus saying it doesn't matter. You're proving to yourself right now it does matter, and your mind needs to know that. And then your most expensive capacity leak. So if you were to do this for different areas in your business, maybe it's email marketing is actually a more expensive capacity leak, where when I am feeling stressed and stretched thin, I know that I lose more by not emailing my list, then I will choose emailing my list over social media, right? Because sometimes you do have to choose when your capacity is lower. But we want to just be able to give some information and data to our brain so it actually understands this is what's happening. Okay, so money and numbers and association with that can, especially in our business, when we're the ones making the money and the decisions, can feel like heavy stuff. And this is where nervous system regulation tools come in and can be really helpful, because anytime we're feeling stressed or heightened, then we want to complete the stress cycle. When we don't complete the stress cycle, the stress just finds somewhere else to go and live inside of our body until we're ready to deal with it. And sometimes that's a long freaking time. And sometimes we're holding on to a lot of stress for a long period of time. And that's how the body really breaks down over time. You've probably seen like National Geographic or things like that when a zebra is being chased by a lion. Once the zebra reaches safety, it goes through a stomping cycle or a shaking cycle. And that is the zebra breaking that stress cycle, interrupting that stress cycle and releasing it. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can see me entirely. Okay. So I'm sitting in my chair. My feet are going to be flat on the floor. And what we want to do first is we want to be able to make sure that this is a nervous system tool that our body likes. Because there are tools that our body doesn't necessarily resonate with. And then there are tools that work really well. And then we're like, oh, I'm going to keep that in my pocket for later when I need it. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you put your arm out like a cactus and put the other hand here so you can stabilize your shoulder. And we're just going to rotate down, and you're going to note when your basically hand, that point that which your hand has like a stopping point. So the shoulder isn't going to move anymore and the hand stops there. You can visually see that. So do it a couple times just to get out any stiffness. Okay, and then you're going to stay exactly where you are. And you're going to cross your hands across your chest. And we're going to do the first one, which is called butterfly tapping. And it's just tapping on each shoulder, left to right and left to right. And then I encourage you also to close your eyes, if you can, and focus on some deep belly breaths. So let that belly expand with your inhale and a nice long exhale. And you're going to do that a couple of times, and we're going to keep tapping. And you can also put your hands into fists and have a little bit more of a firm tap. And that can give a little bit more attention and regulation to that nervous system. Personally, I like this one better than tapping, but you can do whatever feels best for you. And you might be already noticing that all of a sudden you start to have a little bit more calmness in your body. You feel a little bit more grounded. If you don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong. Okay, take a nice big breath out, and then we're going to measure. We're going to do that again, that cactus arm, and see, did you get any more rotation in that shoulder after doing that exercise? If you did, congratulations, your body loves that tool. Our nervous system loosens our muscle and our tendons and everything that's associated with that when it's regulated. But when it's dysregulated, it's constricted. So you'll have less rotation. So when you get more rotation, we know your nervous system liked it. And that was an easy tool to use. I love that one. I use it almost daily. Use it in the morning when you wake up is especially helpful. Most of us wake up in a fight or flight state or in a freeze state. And when you can show your body right away in the morning that you are safe, you're going to notice that it's easier to shift into those states throughout the day. And then also, I like to use it when I'm driving. However, I only have one hand when I'm driving. So I put my hand in a C shape and I just tap on my collarbone so that there's a bone that it's tapping on because that creates a little bit more vibration and impact in the body. And left to right. And I'll just think about my breathing, making sure I'm breathing into my belly. I'll think about my seat on my rear on the seat as well. And that just helps me feel a little bit more calm and grounded in the body while I'm driving, because that's when my mind likes to go into circles and to think and to find a lot of problems. So okay, I am going to go back to the presentation here quickly. We just have a couple of slides left. Okay. We got that guy. So notice how you feel right now. We did butterfly tapping for about 2 minutes. Nothing in your life actually changed in those 2 minutes, right? But your capacity did. And this is the work of the nervous system. And it will blow your mind when you see that everything you desire is within the nervous system of your body and building the capacity to actually have it. And also somatically in the body, you're able to have more energy, more digestion, hormonal balance. With your business, you're able to have ease, more clients, more results, more fun, more joy, more money, making money, having money, not just making it and giving it all away. So that all is within the capacity of your nervous system. I want you to also, sometimes it's hard to conceptualize this, like, is it really? I want you to think about some of the most successful people in the world or in your life and how sometimes they make success look and feel so easy, like it's so simple for them. I always tried to understand that when I was a little girl. And I would watch families in my community be so successful and have a lot of money and be comfortable with money. And then I saw my family, and I was like, we don't have that. Why? And I would see like them have children go off and also replicate that kind of success. And I was like, why is it easy for them to do that? Why is it easy for them to be able to experience that and bring that in? And really, it's the nervous system, right? Their nervous system is so safe with that level of success, is so safe with that level of money that it just becomes a natural magnet for them to receive it. Whereas if you grew up sometimes in a family that did not emanate that kind of success, you actually just have deconditioning to do inside of your nervous system to open up your capacity to be able to receive, because your nervous system is not familiar with that, and anything unfamiliar is scary. And the thing is, you are not any different than the person that has a nervous system that is able to receive and be more successful, other than your nervous system just needs to be reconditioned. And that's some of the work that we do. And tomorrow we're going to talk about hormones and nutrition, because that is necessary with nervous system work. I see so many nervous system coaches now, because of Instagram and my algorithm, that are not teaching nutrition. And the truth is, you cannot have a regulated nervous system if your body is not fulfilled nutritionally. You can't. Your body finds safety first with food. First with food and nutrition, not by tapping, not by meditating, first with nutrition. So we're going to learn that tomorrow, because we want to be able to have that easeful pathway in. You're also going to understand your hormones, because as a female entrepreneur, we want to understand how to work with those hormones versus work against them. And also nutrition is one of the ways that we're able to enhance basically, or be able to have more balanced hormones, and hormones that are nice and even keel, even in perimenopause. So what I want you to remember is that you do not rise to the level of your goals, thoughts, or mantras. You fall back to the level of your capacity under stress, right? So you fall back to the level of the nervous system believing what is safe. And you can, and you will up-level that nervous system safety with this work. And that is totally possible. Your nervous system is malleable. You can create new pathways. You can create new neural pathways. You can create safety in the body, but it has to be intentional. It cannot be with mantras. It can't be with strategy. You can't outthink this. This is a body practice. All right, my friends. So tomorrow we're going to talk about making this a normal with the actions to support the language of the body with nutrition, blood sugar stability, and hormonal balance. I can't wait to talk to you more tomorrow. If you have any questions, always reply to the email. I'm on the other side. I will see you for tomorrow's workshop. Bye bye.